Let's take up preparation of aldehydes and ketones. First method is by oxidation of alcohols. Primary alcohols on partial oxidation with potassium dichromate and conc sulfuric acid give aldehyde plus water. For example, methyl alcohol, if we oxidize with the help of K2Cr2O7 and conc sulfuric acid, it changes to formaldehyde. IUPAC name of methyl alcohol is methanol and formaldehyde is methanol. Ethyl alcohol and oxidation with acidified dichromate gives acetaldehyde. IUPAC name of acetaldehyde is ethanol and ethyl alcohol IUPAC name is ethanol. Benzyl alcohol, if we oxidize with K2Cr2O7 and conc sulfuric acid, the product formed is benzaldehyde. IUPAC name of benzyl alcohol is phenyl methanol and benzaldehyde can also be called benzene carbaldehyde. Secondary alcohols on oxidation give ketones. For example, isopropyl alcohol, whose IUPAC name is 2-propanol, on oxidation with K2Cr2O7 and conc sulfuric acid, give acetone. IUPAC name is 2-propanone. If we take secondary butyl alcohol and oxidize with K2Cr2O7 plus sulfuric acid, this secondary butyl alcohol in IUPAC system is called 2-butanol. The product formed is ethyl methyl ketone or IUPAC name is 2-butanone. Another example we are taking cyclohexanol. Cyclohexanol on oxidation with K2Cr2O7 and conc sulfuric acid result in the formation of cyclohexanone. So secondary alcohol on oxidation give ketones, primary alcohols on oxidation give aldehydes. Tertiary alcohols are most difficult to oxidize and they will form ketones with lesser number of carbon atoms, but the oxidation is quite difficult. So primary alcohols are easily oxidized as compared to secondary alcohols. Secondary alcohols are more easily oxidized than tertiary alcohols, and tertiary alcohols are most difficult to oxidize and they give ketones containing same carbon atoms, but tertiary alcohols on oxidation under drastic condition will give alcohol ketones containing lesser number of carbon atoms. Next, we are taking other reagents which can be used for oxidation of primary alcohol to aldehyde. This time we are using Collins reagent in dichloromethane as a solvent, or PCC, pyridinium chlorochromate. In the solvent is same dichloroethane, we get aldehyde as the product. This method has a special advantage that when you have unsaturated alcohol, that is OH and double bond, then double bond will not be affected by PCC in dichloromethane as a solvent. The secondary alcoholic group changes to ketone. So here we have cyclohex-2-ene-1-ol. On oxidation with PCC, it gives cyclohex-2-ene-1-one. That is, OH group has got oxidized to keto group, but there is no effect on double bond by this mild oxidizing agent called PCC. Next, we are taking open air oxidation. There is important reaction from entrance point of view. Here we take secondary alcohol, and this particular secondary alcohol is isopropyl alcohol or 2-propanol. We are reacting with excess of acetone, which acts as a solvent. Aluminium tertiary butoxide acts as oxidizing agent. Secondary alcohol, that isopropyl alcohol, get oxidized to acetone or 2-propanone, and acetone get reduced to isopropyl alcohol. This reaction is called open air oxidation. By catalytic dehydrogenation of alcohols, alcohols on dehydrogenation with copper at 573 Kelvin, copper acts as a catalyst, result in the formation of formaldehyde or methanol plus hydrogen. Next example, we have ethyl alcohol. When heated with copper at 573 Kelvin, we get acetaldehyde plus hydrogen. Acetaldehyde IUPAC name is ethanol. Isopropyl alcohol on heating with copper at 573 give acetone plus hydrogen. And if the same reaction is carried out with tertiary alcohols, it leads to dehydration of tertiary alcohol, leading to the formation of alkenes and not aldehydes and ketones. Next, we are taking from hydrocarbons. From aromatic hydrocarbons, by oxidation of methyl benzene or toluene, we use chromyl chloride. So toluene is being treated with chromyl chloride in presence of nonpolar solvent, that is carbon disulfide. Intermediate chromium complex is formed, which on hydrolysis leads to the formation of benzaldehyde. This reaction is known as Etard reaction. So Etard reaction converts methyl group to aldehyde group by using chromyl chloride, which is a mild oxidizing agent, but it can convert methyl group to aldehyde group. Next, we are taking use of chromic oxide. Chromic oxide is a stronger oxidizing agent and not like chromyl chloride. So this will oxidize, CH3 group will get directly oxidized to benzoic acid. But we want benzaldehyde. So we have to use a protecting reagent, that is acetic anhydride. When we oxidize toluene with CrO3 in presence of acetic anhydride at 273 to 283 Kelvin, that is at low temperature, we get benzyl acetate as an intermediate product. And benzyl acetate on hydrolysis leads to the formation of benzaldehyde. Another example is by side chain chlorination followed by hydrolysis. Means toluene reacts with Cl2 in presence of sunlight and it forms CHCl2 benzyl chloride. Benzyl chloride on hydrolysis at 373 Kelvin or by treating with 2 moles of NaOH or KOH gives us benzaldehyde. So we have converted toluene to benzaldehyde via benzyl chloride using photochlorination followed by hydrolysis. Next, we are taking Gattermann-Koch reaction. In Gattermann-Koch reaction, benzene reacts with carbon monoxide and HCl. You can remember it as HCOCl, which is unstable and breaks down into CO and HCl. So if you remember it as HCOCl, which is unstable, HCO group will get attached to the benzene ring. So we get benzaldehyde as the product. AlCl3 acts as a catalyst in the reaction or facilitates this reaction. This reaction is known as Gattermann-Koch reaction, which can convert benzene to benzaldehyde in one step. Let's prepare aldehydes by ozonolysis of alkenes. The first, when ozone is passed in alkenes dissolved in ether, the addition of ozone takes place across the double bond and ozonide formed on reduction with zinc and water give aldehydes as well as ketones. Here we have got ethylene which reacts with ozone to form ethylene ozonide. Out of 3 oxygen atoms, 1 atom is added across these 2 carbon and 2 oxygen atoms are added on this side. When reduction is done with zinc and water, this bond breaks like this so that we get HCHO. This bond breaks like this, we get HCHO. So we get 2 moles of HCHO, that is 2 moles of formaldehyde or methanol. When propene reacts with ozone, it results in the formation of propylene ozonide, that is, ozone gets added across the double bond, one above and two below. Now the zinc and water bond will break like this, we'll get CH3CHO. Another bond will break like this, we get HCHO plus this oxygen is taken by water to form hydrogen peroxide. So we get methanol and ethanol as a product. The ozonides are never isolated due to their explosive nature, but they are readily decomposed by heating with water or the reaction with hydrogen. During the decomposition, the fission of carbon chain takes place at the place of original double bond and aldehydes or ketones or both are formed. By knowing the nature of products on the decomposition of ozonide, the position of double bond can be located in the original alkene. This chemical process is called ozonolysis. Next is by hydration of alkenes. This reaction proceeds in accordance with Markovnikov rule. Propene will react with water in the presence of sulfuric acid. In first step, isopropyl hydrogen sulfate will be formed. As per Markovnikov's rule, negative charge of the addendum will go to least substituted carbon atom. Alkyl hydrogen sulfate, when boiled with water, produce alcohol and sulfuric acid. It results in the formation of 2-propanol. You can also do it directly. Propene plus water in presence of sulfuric acid, it will result in the formation of 2-propanol. Next reaction, thus a molecule of water can be added to alkene along with using the dilute sulfuric acid. Without sulfuric acid, reaction will be very slow because water is not a weak electrolyte. The importance of this reaction is we can purification of alkanes and alkyl halides from alkene as impurities, because alkenes can only form hydrogen sulfate, alkane and alkyl halide cannot form hydrogen sulfate. Ordinary water does not add directly to alkenes to form alcohols because it's a weak electrolyte, but it does add in the presence of acid to more reactive alkenes to form alcohols. Let's take up 2-methyl propene when we add water and H ion. So OH ion will attack this carbon, whereas H will attack this carbon. It results in the formation of 2-methyl 2-propanol, and this product is also governed by Markovnikov's rule. This reaction is called electrophilic addition reaction because it is initiated by electrophile. Next, we are taking hydration of alkynes. It's very important. Addition of water to alkynes, the reaction is catalyzed by mercuric sulfate and H2SO4. This is an alkyne. We are adding water in the presence of sulfuric acid and mercuric sulfate. OH group will attack here and H will attack here, and triple bond will change to double bond. This is called enol form. Enol form is unstable. It will change to ketone form. How? H will shift to this carbon, whereas double bond will shift here and will get keto form by rearrangement or tautomerization. Reaction proceeds through the following mechanism. Mercuric ion forms a bond with the triple bond using pi electrons of the triple bond, and after this bond is formed, water attacks the double bonded carbon, which is also linked with mercuric ion. Water, oxygen has two lone pair of electrons, due to which it donates one pair of electrons to form the bond and acquires positive charge. Here, this bond breaks and mercury has got one positive charge. From here, H positive ion is removed from here, so we get OH and double bond is already there. Now this is enol form, which we have got if when after adding H ion. H ion will replace mercuric ion and we have got enol form. It can change to keto form if we shift this hydrogen to this carbon and double bond to this oxygen. So we will get keto form. That is the mechanism of this reaction. Let's take specific example. Acetylene reacts with water in the presence of HgSO4 and H2SO4, result in the formation of acetaldehyde or ethanol. Same way, acetone reacts with water in the presence of H2SO4 and HgSO4 as a catalyst. It results in the formation of acetone or 2-propanone.